What is up, dudes and lady dudes? Welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Today, got a little news video. Nothing too crazy. We do have a new ALTERGEIST card from the anime confirmed to be imported to the TCG, as well as artwork for a new MACHINA monster. But let's start off with the ALTERGEIST monster, because it's interesting. I think it's a little more interesting overall. But we've got ALTERGEIST Pukuri here, kind of like Kunkari, but Pukari. ALTERGEIST Pukari. Okay. It's a level 1 dark spellcaster effect monster with 300 attack and 100 defense. You can only use the first effect once per turn, and you can only use the second effect once per duel, which is pretty interesting. That first effect reads, if an ALTERGEIST monster you control would be used as link material for an ALTERGEIST monster, this card in your hand can also be used as material. Okay, pretty solid. Then, second effect, if an ALTERGEIST Link monster is a Link summoned to your field and this card is in your graveyard, you can add this card back to your hand. Now, what makes this card so interesting is that ALTERGEIST are not a Link deck. They have Link monsters, but they're not a Link deck. I mean, really, you're doing most of your stuff on the groundwork with, you know, Silquicious and Multi-Faker and Marionetter and Meluseek. Like, that's where you're usually doing everything. The only time you're actually going into your extra deck to go is to get into, oh no, what's his name? I can't remember its name. The Link 2 that is negate stuff, or you're going Prima Banshee. So without like going into those, you're never Link summoning into an ALTERGEIST monster, like, ever. Hextia, sorry, couldn't remember. I looked it up on my phone just now on the fly. If you're not going Hextia, you're not really Link summoning in this deck ever. Now maybe they come up with a couple cards that are actually good enough Link wise, like as far as like, I don't know, Link Turbo cards essentially, to maybe make it so people might want to run a more Link Turbo deck. But this card seems okay. It's like a one of, like, at most right now, just because the deck doesn't really care about it. And even if you're playing this out of one of, it means you're probably playing a non ultra competitive version, right? You may be playing a more fun anime version. Overall, I think it's like an interesting card if the deck got enough support to like really Link summon hard, go hard on the Link summoning part of that deck. But other than that, like, you're really not putting enough monsters on the field consistently to want to be linking away, except for when you're going for a Hextia play. And if you're going for your Hextia play, you're locking up the duel anyway. Like, people, like ALTERGEIST players always say, if your opponent's if like you're playing against ALTERGEIST and they're linking into Hextia, it means the duel's over, most likely. So, you know, I don't know how good this card could be, but we'll have to see if anything else comes out to really make this better. And the other piece of news is we got artwork for one of the new Machina cards. This is Machina Colonel, and he looks cool. He actually came out. This news actually came out yesterday. This picture. I decided not to make a video on it because I was like, as much as this card is dope and it looks awesome and I really dig it, it kind of just still looks like a Machina card. Like, it looks like Fortress in a different form, essentially, with a little bit of cool weapons. Like, unless this artwork was like super different and it was like Machina, I was like, that doesn't even look like a Machina, but that's crazy how different it looks. And then maybe I'd make a video on it, but because it just kind of looked exactly like the rest of the archetype, I was just kind of like, yeah, it's exactly what I expected. Not worth a whole video to itself, but it's cool nonetheless. I'm assuming this will be one of the boss monsters. I mean, just looking at it, you're like, this probably is like a boss-ish monster. We'll see what the rest of the cards do. They really need, like, from what we're getting from these like redone structure decks, they really need, they're gonna get probably like 5 cards. They really need all 5 to be pretty good, because really there's like only 2 cards from the whole first wave of support that's like possibly gonna be good, and that's Fortress and Gear Frame. Maybe there's one other one that is like okay, but phew, they really need to like hit the mark on some of these, or make it kind of work generically with some just generically good like machine stuff. But yeah, I mean, just like a lot of stuff right now in the game, we're just playing the waiting game. We're waiting on Eternity Code stuff, the whole rest of Eternity Code to come out. We're waiting on the TCG imports for Ignition Assault. We're waiting for all of Duel Overload. We have like 10 cards for Dual Overload revealed, not even, and we have like a ton more. It's a 100 card set, and yeah, we're just chilling. We're just chilling. We're waiting to find out what like Master Rules 5 could possibly be, if that is a thing, or what's going to be different in the new form of like Yu-Gi-Oh! There's just a ton we're waiting on. Obviously, stay tuned if you want to find out. I don't know, if you want to see videos when that news gets revealed, and I'll be talking about it here on the channel. Other than that, though, guys, I think I'm going to seal it on up. Thank you so much for watching, guys. As always, subscribe to the channel if you have not yet. And I'll catch you all in the next video. Oh.